I'm 35 years old. Killed a man. But that's not why I'm here. My name is Samuel Price. In less than 15 minutes, they're going to inject poison into my veins for a murder I didn't commit. Yes, I killed someone. When I was 19. I served my time for that. 8 years in Angola State Penitentiary. I was supposed to get out in 2 more years. But then a prison guard died during a riot. And they needed someone to blame. So they chose me. I've spent the last 7 years on death row for a crime I didn't commit. 7 years screaming the truth to people who don't want to hear it. 7 years watching the appeals fail one by one. 7 years knowing I'm going to die for something I didn't do. Before the needle goes in. Hit subscribe. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't just my story. It's a question. A terrible question that should haunt everyone who believes in justice. How many men have died for crimes they didn't commit? How many last words belong to the innocent? These are mine. I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 1975. Raised by my grandmother after my mom died of an overdose when I was 4. Never knew my father. Grandma did her best. She worked as a housekeeper for families in the Garden District. She'd come home exhausted, feet swollen, hands cracked from cleaning chemicals. But she always made sure I had food, clean clothes, place to sleep. She took me to church every Sunday, made me memorize scripture, told me that education was the only way out of the life we were living. I believed her. I was a good student, made honor roll, played basketball, had dreams of going to college, maybe studying engineering, building things, creating something real. But life had other plans. When I was 16, Grandma had a stroke. Left her paralyzed on one side. She couldn't work anymore. Couldn't take care of herself, let alone me. I dropped out of school to take care of her. Got a job at a gas station. Worked nights. It wasn't enough to cover medical bills, rent, food, everything. I started selling drugs. Small stuff at first. Weed mostly. Just enough to keep us afloat. Then I started using. Started with weed to take the edge off. Then pills. Then cocaine. By 19 I was deep in it. Dealing. Using. Running with people I shouldn't have been around. That's when I killed someone. His name was Darius Washington. He was a dealer. I owed him money. A lot of money. Money I didn't have. He came to collect. We argued. It got heated. He pulled a knife. I pulled my gun. I shot him once. Center mass. He died before the ambulance arrived. I turned myself in the next day. Told them everything. It was self-defense, but I had drugs on me. Had a gun illegally. Had priors for dealing. My court-appointed lawyer was overworked and underpaid. The prosecutor painted me as a violent drug dealer. A menace to society. I took a plea deal. 2nd-degree murder. 20 years. Could be out in 12 with good behavior. I accepted it. I killed a man. Even if it was self-defense, he was still dead because of me. I deserved to pay for that. Grandma died while I was awaiting trial. Heart attack. I couldn't even go to her funeral. I went to Angola in 2000. 19 years old. Scared. Angry. Alone. But I tried to make something of myself inside. Got my GED. Started taking college courses through correspondence. Stayed out of trouble. Kept my head down. By 2008, I was 8 years in. Had 4 years left if I kept clean. I was thinking about what I'd do when I got out. Where I'd live. How I'd rebuild. Then March 14th, 2008 happened. And everything ended. March 14th, 2008. Angola State Penitentiary. Maximum security. Cell Block D. It was a Friday. Normal day. At least it started that way. I was in my cell during afternoon count. Reading. Some mystery novel I'd gotten from the prison library. Then I heard shouting. Screaming. The alarm. Riot. I don't know what started it. Rumor was a guard had beat an inmate during a shakedown. Other people said it was gang-related. Territorial dispute between 2 groups. Doesn't matter. Once it starts, everyone gets pulled in. I heard doors slamming open. Inmates flooding the hallways. Guards calling for backup. The sound of batons hitting flesh. Breaking glass. I stayed in my cell. backed into the corner, tried to stay invisible. But then my cell door opened. Electronic locks had been overridden somehow. Every door in the block opened at once. Inmates poured out. Some were fighting each other. Some were fighting guards. Some were just trying to get to safety. I stepped out carefully, trying to get to the mess hall where I knew there'd be more guards, more protection. That's when I saw him. Officer Michael Duval, 39 years old. Been a guard at Angola for 12 years. He was decent, not cruel like some of them, treated us like people. He was on the ground. 3 inmates were beating him, kicking him. One had a makeshift knife. I should have kept walking, should have saved myself. But I didn't. I ran over, pulled 2 of them off, got punched in the face for it, tasted blood. Officer Duval was alive but barely conscious. His face was swollen, blood everywhere. "Get up," I said. "We gotta move." I helped him to his feet, started dragging him toward the guard station. We made it maybe 20 feet. Then someone hit me from behind. I went down hard, hit my head on concrete. Everything went blurry. When my vision cleared, there was chaos everywhere. Tear gas, inmates running, guards in riot gear pouring in. Officer Duval was on the ground 10 feet away, not moving. I crawled over to him, checked for a pulse. Nothing. That's when the guards found us. Me, covered in blood, kneeling over Officer Duval's body. They didn't ask questions, just grabbed me, slammed me to the ground, cuffed me so tight my wrists went numb. "You killed him," one guard said. "You're a dead man." "No," I said. "I was trying to help him. I was." A baton to the ribs shut me up. They dragged me to solitary, threw me in, left me there for 3 days with no medical attention. No food, no water. When they finally came back, it was with a detective. "Samuel Price," he said. "You're being charged with the murder of Officer Michael Duval." "I didn't kill him. I tried to save him." "We have witnesses who say otherwise." "What witnesses?" "Who?" He smiled, cold. "You'll find out at trial." The trial was a joke. The prosecution's case was simple. I was found covered in blood, kneeling over Officer Duval's body. Therefore, I killed him. The witnesses, 3 inmates, all serving life sentences, all with gang affiliations, all claiming they saw me stab Officer Duval. My lawyer tried to establish reasonable doubt, tried to show that the blood on me could have come from the fight, that I was helping, not hurting. But the prosecution destroyed that, showed photos of Officer Duval's body, stab wounds, blunt force trauma, painted me as a violent criminal with a history of murder. The autopsy showed Officer Duval died from a stab wound to the abdomen and blunt force trauma to the head. Time of death was estimated during the exact period I was near him. My lawyer tried to get the surveillance footage from the cell block, but the cameras had been damaged during the riot. No footage, no proof of what actually happened. The 3 witnesses testified, said they saw me stab Officer Duval, kick him, beat him, all lies, but the jury believed them. Why wouldn't they? 3 witnesses versus 1 convicted murderer. My lawyer cross-examined them, found inconsistencies in their stories, showed their gang connections, their motivations to lie. Didn't matter. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. Guilty. First-degree murder of a law enforcement officer. Officer Duval's wife testified at sentencing. Michelle Duval. She was 40 years old. They had 3 kids, teenage daughters. She told the judge about her husband, about how he'd wanted to be a prison guard because he believed in rehabilitation, believed people could change, how he'd treated inmates with respect when others didn't. "And this is how he was repaid," she said, looking at me. "Murdered by the very people he tried to help." I wanted to scream, to tell her I didn't do it, that I tried to save him. But nobody would listen. The judge sentenced me to death. That was 7 years ago. 7 years of appeals. 7 years of lawyers telling me the case was weak but not weak enough. That there was reasonable doubt but not enough to overturn the conviction. 7 years of knowing the truth and being powerless to prove it. 2 years ago, one of the witnesses recanted. Andre Wilson. He was dying of cancer. Called his lawyer. Said he wanted to clear his conscience. He admitted the three of them lied. Said they were pressured by the real killers. Gang members who threatened their families if they didn't pin it on someone. They chose me because I had a murder conviction already. Because I'd be an easy target. My lawyers filed for a new trial immediately. The court denied it. Said the recantation came too late. Said it wasn't credible because Wilson was dying and could be seeking attention. 1 year ago, forensic experts reviewed the evidence. Said the stab wound that killed Officer Duvall was made by a left-handed person. I'm right-handed. My lawyers filed again. Denied. Procedural technicality. Should have been raised earlier. 6 months ago, another inmate came forward. Said he witnessed the actual killing. Named the real killers. Passed a polygraph. My lawyers filed for a stay of execution. Denied. Not enough time to investigate the new claims properly. And now here I am. Today, they woke me at 4 a.m. The routine. The shower. The clothes. Breakfast was red beans and rice, fried catfish, cornbread. Louisiana tradition. Didn't eat any of it. The chaplain came. We prayed. I asked God why this was happening. Why he'd let an innocent man die. The chaplain had no answer. They let me call my cousin at 10 a.m. My only living relative who still speaks to me. Jerome, I said. Sam. His voice was thick. This is wrong, man. This is so wrong. I know. There's gotta be something we can do. There's nothing, Jerome. It's over. He cried. I listened. Tell people what happened here. I said. Tell them I didn't do it. Tell them the system killed an innocent man. I will. I promise. Thank you. The line went dead. The warden came at 5 p.m. Read the execution order. Samuel Price? Do you understand? I understand you're about to kill an innocent man. His face didn't change. Do you understand the order? Yes. It's time. 55 steps from death row to the execution chamber. Every step feels like a betrayal. 1, 2, 3. I'm walking toward my death for something I didn't do. 20, 21. The chaplain is beside me, praying. I don't hear him. All I hear is the sound of my own heartbeat. Still beating. Still fighting. Still alive. But not for long. 40, 41. I think about Officer Duvall. About how I tried to save him. About how that act of humanity became the justification for my execution. I think about his real killers. Still alive. Still in Angola. Probably sleeping fine at night. 52. 53. The door ahead is steel. Gray. Final. 55. The warden unlocks it. Inside, the execution chamber looks like a hospital room. Clean. White. Sterile. The gurney sits in the center. Waiting for me like a bed I'll never wake up from. 3 windows. Window 1. Officer Duvall's family. His wife, Michelle. His 3 daughters, now young women. All watching. Waiting for justice that isn't justice. Window 2. My witnesses. My cousin Jerome. A lawyer from the Innocence Project who tried to help. A journalist who's been covering my case. Window 3. Media. 8 reporters. Recording history. Recording a mistake. Please lie down, the warden says. I walk to the gurney. My legs are steady. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die with dignity. I lie down. The ceiling is white, blank, like a page waiting to be written on. They strap me down. Arms, legs, chest, head. I can't move, can't fight, can't run. The 4 technician approaches. She's young. Her hands are shaking slightly. Maybe she knows. Maybe she can feel the wrongness of this. She slides the needle into my right arm. Then the left. The chaplain leans close. God knows the truth, Samuel. He knows. Then why is he letting this happen? The chaplain has no answer. The warden steps into view. Samuel Price, you have been sentenced to death by the state of Louisiana for the murder of Officer Michael Duvall. Do you have any last words? I turn my head. Look at window 1. Then window 2. Then back to window 1. My voice is clear, strong. I won't let them silence me. Mrs. Duval, to your daughters, to Officer Duval's family. I didn't kill your husband. I didn't kill your father. I know that's not what you want to hear. I know you've been told I'm guilty. I know you've been waiting 7 years for this moment. But it's not justice you're getting today. It's revenge on the wrong person. Your husband was a good man, one of the few decent guards in Angola. He treated us with respect, with humanity. When I saw him on the ground that day, being beaten, I didn't think about myself. I didn't think about the consequences. I just thought about saving a man's life. I pulled attackers off him. I got hit for it. I tried to get him to safety. And when he died, when those animals killed him, I was the one kneeling beside him, trying to help, checking for a pulse. That's when the guards found me, covered in his blood. And they decided I was guilty. The Real killers are still in Angola. They're still alive. They're still breathing. While I'm about to die for their crime. 3 witnesses lied. 1 recanted before he died. Admitted they were pressured to frame me. But the court said it was too late. That his deathbed confession didn't matter. Forensic evidence shows the killer was left-handed. I'm right-handed. But the court said that wasn't enough. Another witness came forward. Named the real killers. But the court said there wasn't time to investigate. So here I am. About to be executed for trying to save a man's life. I don't blame you for hating me. You've been told I killed the man you loved. But I'm begging you, after tonight, when the anger fades, look at the evidence. Read the transcripts. See what I saw. Ask yourself, did Louisiana kill the right man tonight? I turned toward window 2, toward Jerome. Jerome, to everyone who believed me, who fought for me, thank you. Tell my story. Tell people what happened here. Tell them about the flaws in the system, about how easy it is to kill an innocent man. Tell them about Andre Wilson's recantation, about the forensic evidence, about the witness who came forward. Tell them about the 3 inmates who lied to save themselves, about the corruption, about the failure of justice. Don't let my death be meaningless. Let it be a warning. This system is broken. And if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. I look back at the ceiling. I'm ready, not because I deserve to die, but because I'm tired of fighting a system that doesn't care about truth. I didn't kill Officer Duval, but I'm about to pay for his murder anyway. God knows the truth. History will know the truth. And maybe someday, people will look back at this moment and ask, how did we let this happen? I close my eyes. The warden signals. I feel the chemicals enter my veins. Cold. Spreading. My last thought is this. I wonder how many others died like this. Innocent. Unheard. Forgotten. How many last words belong to men who shouldn't have been there? The cold reaches my heart. And then, nothing.
Those were his last words. Samuel Price was pronounced dead at 6:19 p.m. on September 23, 2010, at Louisiana State Penitentiary in Angola. He was 35 years old. He served 7 years on death row for the murder of Officer Michael Duval during a prison riot. Officer Michael Duval, 39, was posthumously honored by the Louisiana Department of Corrections. A memorial fund was established in his name to support families of fallen officers. His widow, Michelle Duval, attended the execution. She told reporters afterward, "Justice was served today. My husband's killer paid for what he did." But questions remain. 3 months after Samuel's execution, the Innocence Project released a comprehensive report on his case. The report detailed Andre Wilson's recantation, made under oath before his death forensic evidence, showing the fatal wound was inflicted by a left-handed attacker witness testimony from another inmate identifying the actual killer's evidence of prosecutorial misconduct, including suppressed witness statements evidence that the 3 key witnesses were coerced by gang members. The report concluded there was substantial doubt about Samuel's guilt and recommended a posthumous review of the case. The Louisiana Attorney General's office declined to reopen the case, stating that Samuel had received full and fair legal process. In 2013, one of the 3 witnesses who testified against Samuel, Marcus Jenkins, gave an interview from prison. He admitted the testimony was false. "We lied because we were scared," he said. "They told us if we didn't blame someone, we'd be next." Sam was an easy target. He already had a murder conviction. In 2015, investigative journalists identified the likely actual killers, 2 inmates with gang affiliations who have since been released from Angola. Neither has been charged in Officer Duval's death. In 2018, forensic pathologist Dr. Helen Morrison reviewed the autopsy reports and crime scene evidence. She stated publicly, "Based on the wound patterns, blood spatter analysis, and the victim's injuries, Samuel Price could not have inflicted the fatal wound. The evidence is inconsistent with the prosecution's narrative. Samuel Price's body was claimed by his cousin Jerome Price, who continues to advocate for his posthumous exoneration. Jerome established a website detailing the evidence in Samuel's case. Over 50,000 people have signed a petition calling for Louisiana to acknowledge the wrongful execution. To date, Louisiana has not issued any statement regarding Samuel Price's claims of innocence. Officer Michael Duval's real killers have never been prosecuted. This is episode 7 of Last Words. Subscribe to hear more stories from death row, because sometimes the only way to understand justice is to witness its failure.